A piercing siren sounds, and in a flash the market transforms. Shoppers disappear and stallholders whip away their produce. One moment you could see locals shopping for their vegetables. The next moment the vendors will scoop up their baskets and boxes and anything that lies over the track. The market comes to a standstill as all vendors hold on to the poles supporting their awnings to make way for the train to pass. It's such a tight squeeze that the train traveling at about 15 miles per hour almost touches the fruits, vegetables, and everything else at the marketplace. Maeklong Railway Market, located in Samut Songkhram in Thailand, looks like any other open-air market in Asia. There are tropical fruits and vegetables such as lychee, durian, and mango, varieties of dried spices, pastes, and herbs, and freshly caught seafood. The crowd weaves its way around and in between vendors, picking up whatever they need for the day. The market is sheltered by low-hanging awnings, and if you look closely, you'll notice that they're actually walking on train rails.
Is a fresh market. It is one of the traditional fresh market you can see in Thailand here. This railway market, in which we call the Maeklong market, has been around for 114 years already. Right, okay, now in this 100 years, over 100 years ago, the people, the residents here in this province had to rely heavily on trains. There weren't much cars and all that, so they had to rely on trains. And so the vendors then brought their stuff, their things, to sell at the railway. So people going to Bangkok can also buy and then take it with them to Bangkok.
CNC spoke to a woman who's been selling dried fish in the market for 20 years. She said she can wrap everything up in 2 seconds to pave way for the train to run through the rail tracks.
We're gonna see. I'm gonna take you to look at this piece here. คุณยาย this grandma อายุเท่าไหร่คะ 63 She is 63 years old. She has been around for 20 years already. You can see the dried fish that she's selling is right on the railway track. Okay? Now, when the train comes คุณยายเวลารถไฟมาเนี่ยเราต้องรีบดึงใช่ไหมแล้วก็อะไรเนี่ยนี่อีกตัวนึงแล้วก็ดึงแล้วก็พับนี่ She said that when the train comes, she has about 2 seconds to pull the dry fish, and look, she has to take this thing down in 2 seconds. You see how it works later probably in other shops, but you see how these people can pull their products quickly, pull down the shade in 2 seconds.
As time passes, the older generation retires and it's time for the younger generation to take over. They've created a sliding metal rod to place their table of goods the width of the railway tracks. When the train comes, all they need to do is slide their table inwards. But it's certainly not easy to wrap up all the produce in 2 seconds.
Now that we're now deeper into the fresh market here, you can see because of the speed, they need to pull their things in within 2 seconds. So there's new technology. Look what they've got. This is the sliding steel, all right? And not only that, when the train comes, they've got to pull it in. Then they've got to take the shade down. We're gonna ask this man to do a demonstration of how, when the train comes, there's new technology where he sells fish, needs to do it in 2 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And then the train comes, and then okay, เอาอันนี้ลงมา and then this thing comes down right away. Actually, you know, he's done more than 2 seconds, so plus no practice. I have to help him. อันนี้จริงๆ อันนี้มากกว่า2 วินี่
ใช่2 วิครับ
ต้องใช้กี่นาที
ส่วนมาก3 นาที
He said that he has to use 3 minutes because he's new. And then if he's faster, he can do it in 2 seconds. ต้องใช้เวลานานเท่าไหร่ถึงจะได้2 วินาทีได้
3 นาที
He said it takes him about a year or so before he can reach the 2-second, point where you just pull it in, pull that down, 2 seconds.
Once the train is gone, the vendors push back the stalls and awnings into position, and everything goes back to normal as if nothing had happened. After all, the market has been here for generations, going back to the time the railway was built in 1905. Video clips such as these can be seen on social networks worldwide and has drawn interest from tourists around the globe. We spoke to one young tourist from China.
I had already seen this interesting video clip in China where a train ran through the fresh market. What was fun was the sight of vendors wrapping things up quickly to pave way for train to pass through. It was very exciting because it was all of speed.
Local residents call this place Talad Ram Hoop Market, which literally translates to Market Umbrella Pull Down. And as you just saw, the name is quite fitting.